I don't know what happened, guys, but Prime Day didn't just sneak up on me this year, it crawled through my window and gave me a wet willy. But the good news is there's actually some solid discounts on monitors and TVs this year that you might want to sit down for. So let's start off with monitors. And by the way, every single display I talk about today will have an affiliate link in the description below, which does give a kickback to the channel, but I digress. Monitors, starting from the least expensive and grittying our way up to the most. Yes, I said it. Now we're going to start first with the InnoCN 27M2V. Now this is allegedly 40% off. I think it has a lot of discounts very frequently, but to be fair, yes, this is probably some of the cheapest pricing I've seen on this monitor. It's definitely far lower than normal, at least from what I've seen. $479.99 for a 27-inch 4K 160Hz HDR 1000 Mini LED monitor with 1,152 local dimming zones. It gets very, very bright. It can give you a very good HDR experience. It's not going to have as good of contrast as OLED. It's not going to have as good of response times as OLED, but it is definitely far brighter. So you're going to have to give up some things, but you do get some things as well. Overall, I think OLED is better, but this is a very, very solid choice for $479.99. You're just not going to find a whole lot of other true HDR options around that price. So for that reason, yes, I would recommend this. Also, I have not only reviewed this monitor, but every single monitor that I'm going to be talking about, and I did find it to be a pretty dang good monitor, especially for the price. Now, the next one is going to be the 32-inch version, the InnoCN 32M2V. Basically all the same specs, except for, like I mentioned, 32 inches and 144 hertz, down from 160 hertz. So a little bit slower, a little bit larger, and $20 more expensive at $499.99. Now they're claiming 14% off. I think that's a lot more realistic than the last one, and I do think this is actually a very solid price point for this monitor. Once again, I think that's a pretty dang good deal. Now next up we have our first OLED, the Alienware AW2725DF. This is a 1440p 360Hz QD OLED. So, yep, that's right. I said it. I heard your ears flapping open because QD OLED is an excellent technology. Overall, I think better than Mini LED today, and at 17% off, this is dropping down to $749.99. And for 360Hz QD OLED, I don't think you're going to find too many other options around that price point. That's definitely very aggressive, as it does seem like most of the options are a little bit closer to $800, making this one of the better ones you can buy. Next up, we have 39% off, allegedly again, and this one is the Samsung G93 SC, another QD OLED, except for this time it's a super ultra wide 1440p 240 hertz. And for $979.99, that is one of the lower prices I've seen on this monitor. And again, I think it is a really good deal. Likewise, we have the smart feature version, the G95 SC, at $100 more for $1,079.99. Again, that is one of the lower prices I've seen for this monitor, and also I think a good deal. And then finally, the last monitor we'll be going over today is the 57-inch Neo G9. This is a crazy monitor. This is a 4K 240 hertz times 2 HDR 1000 Mini LED monitor with 2,392 local dimming zones, and it is 36% off from its original MSRP, coming in at $1,599.99. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is the lowest price I've ever seen on this display. I think it's potentially the best Mini LED monitor that's ever been made. It's a lot better than the Neo G8 in a lot of different ways. I have a whole video review on this one explaining probably why that would be the case, and it is also just an insane monitor. I mean, 57 inches, super ultra wide, but 4K is something you cannot get from anything else. And I think this is finally a good price for it. I would recommend it at $1,599.99. At $2,400, I thought it was too expensive. Now we're talking here, baby. But in any case, we've gone through the monitors. Now it's time to talk TVs. Now, I do want to give you guys a disclaimer. I have not reviewed all of these TVs. Can you believe it? In fact, a lot of them I haven't. However, I have watched a lot of reviews on them, and they do look to offer some pretty good value at their discounted prices. The mini LEDs we'll be talking about, expect them not to perform as well as OLED or even Sony's newest mini LED. That thing is a little bit better, it seems like. For sure, I'd have to test them myself to give you a concrete answer on that. But what I can tell you is the mini LEDs we'll be talking about here are going to offer probably by far the best value considering their specs and everything I've seen on them. Speaking of which, let's start off with the 2024 QM7. The 55-inch is just $498, 29% off. It's 4K 144 Hz mini LED with 1500 plus local dimming zones. They also have the 65-inch for 22% off or $698. Then they have the 75-inch for $998, and then finally the 85-inch for $1498 or 17% off. So some pretty big discounts on the QM7 this go around. I think those are some excellent deals considering what you're getting for the price. And then the other big one I saw was the Hisense U8N, another mini LED 4K 144 Hz. They did not list the local dimming zones on most of these models, such as the 55-inch for $798, and then they do have the 65-inch for $998, and then on the 75-inch, they do list 2,000 plus local dimming zones, 4K 144 Hz for all of them, and this one is $1398 or 30% off. So some pretty huge discounts on some of those more budget-friendly mini LED TVs. Don't expect all of them to be super film accurate out of the box or to give you, again, OLED picture, but they're definitely getting a lot closer every year on these very affordable models. And then for the premium TVs, I think these ones are very exciting as well. We have the LG G3 and G4 I want to go over today, as these seem to be getting the biggest discounts for Prime Day this year. The G3 65-inch, or last year's flagship OLED from LG, which is 4K 120 Hz MLA, by the way, is down 34%, $1,846.99. That is by far the lowest price I have ever seen on this TV. I think that's probably one of the best deals that we've seen so far in this video, and I would highly recommend that. The G3, now it's not going to be as good for gaming as the G4, since the G4 has 144 Hz for PC support as well as higher color luminance in the game mode, but the G3 is almost just as good in a lot of ways when it comes to watching movies in TV, which makes it a really solid deal at that far reduced price. Remember, I think it was $3,300 for its original MSRP, so that is a massive reduction. Again, highly recommend that one. Now, the 77-inch version is also a pretty good deal, 14% off. Now, the G4 is next. This one, it is going to look a little bit better, a little bit brighter, in large part due to the new processor as well as the better gaming performance overall. However, you are going to have to pay a hefty premium for the G4. To be fair, it's probably going to be the best OLED of 2024, but even with 18% off, we're talking $2,796.99 on the 65-inch version. Certainly a better deal than I've seen in a while for this thing. And then we do have the 77-inch version for $3,996.99 or 13% off. So there you have it, guys. Those are what I believe to be the best Prime Day deals this year that I found after hours of searching. So if you're interested in purchasing any of them, again, I'll have affiliate links in the description below for your convenience. That gives a kickback to the channel. And if you're not subscribed already, be sure to do so for everything display over here on The Display Guy. Whether you're looking to connect a new console, gaming PC, or just need a fast and reliable HDMI cable to connect over long distances, Rupro has you covered with their certified 8K HDMI 2.1 fiber optic cable, available in sizes of up to 50 feet and can deliver a perfect full 48 gigabits per second connection over distances other cables could only dream of reaching. And with 48 gigabits per second of bandwidth, it can easily drive 8K 60 FPS or 4K 144 FPS 10-bit HDR video through its ultra-thin, flexible, and durable housing, and it even supports ER. So if you're in the market for a cable that can drive a beautiful new TV or monitor, be sure to check out Rupro on Amazon today.